Hello, happy Sunday. So we're going to do these today. We've done something a little similar, but I wanted to revisit it because it's been a while. And it's one of those cards where it doesn't take anything special. It just takes what you have, your cardstock, some ink, um, and maybe some Post-it notes or some washi paper, and that's about it. So we're going to start with our white background. And I liked doing the rectangle shape here. Now, well, I'll show you when I get there. So I like using the Post-it notes. A lot of people will use washi tape for this, which is fine, okay? But a couple things about washi tape, if you're going to use it, let me tape this first and you'll see why I prefer the Post-it notes. So I'm lining it up. I'm just trying to do it straight. And if you will, line up like the edge of your Post-it note with the edge of the paper, that will keep it fairly straight. And then I just lined it up. Again, I'm just trying to keep it as straight as I can. And I'm not doing any particular measurements. Oh my. Although you can, just heard a little thunder. And of course the dog's afraid of thunder. That's okay, we'll just be a minute. All right, now you can see where the paper is underneath. And I'm just trying to make some straight lines with this. Again, I'm going to line this side up with the top of the paper there to try to make sure I'm somewhat straight. I don't think that's thick enough. Let's move it over a little bit. There. I wanted, this to be of a certain size. Doesn't have to be. It's a personal preference. And then I'm lining that up, and then I'll put one on the bottom. Now, when I'm sponging, unfortunately, where's my ink and my sponges that I just had? There they are. When I'm sponging, like this in here, sometimes I will get ink outside. And if all you're using is a little piece of washi tape, it's much easier to me that the ink will get on both sides. So we're going to do this two ways because I had the two cards. So the first one is just using any of the masks that you may have. And we have various ones that we've always sold. So let me just put this on here, just trying to make sure it's straight. And I'm just rubbing the color on. I used the Balmy Blue last time, but I'm using the Tranquil Tide this time. I want it a little bit different. Okay. Now, after that, because I want to have a really nice definition of where my rectangle is, I just take it and lightly sponge some color around the edges so that when I take up the Post-it notes, you're going to be able to see exactly where my rectangle is. Okay. Now, what I did last time, I very carefully took these off so that I could use them again on the second card. Well, those are coming apart. Unfortunately, what happened is when I put it on the second card, I was a little skewed. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. So you're probably going to be better off to put it on either that or you could tape it once it's on. But I'm going to put these off to the side. All right, so I have my first one. I'll do all my stamping last. Now I want to tape this off again for this card that we're going to do. This one you would need a mask, one of these masks. This one you're not going to need anything. I am going to just use the same Post-it notes. And again, I'm going to line up the edge of this with the edge of the paper. I don't want it that far down. There we go. Okay. Might make this one a little bit wider. Got that. And I'm eyeballing it. You're more than welcome to use a ruler or some other, the grid lines on here or something if you'd like to make sure I'm making this wider. If you want to make sure, I just like to, if I'm lining up edge to edge, I know that's going to be straight enough for me. Okay, this looks good. How much do I have up there? Actually have quite a bit up there at the top. That's okay. I'll leave more at the top than the bottom this time. Okay, so then if you'll take another Post-it note or of any piece of scrap paper, it doesn't have to be a Post-it note, and just tear, we've done this before too, where we're just going to tear a design. This time I'm going to kind of go up and down and up and down. Okay, now I'm just going to sponge the color, and I'm going to open my Parakeet Party and my Tranquil Tide and just alternate between them. I think it just gives a really cool look. All right, so now I'm just sponging there. Can be as light or as dark as you like. I like to, you could go exactly, you know what, let's do that this time. Last time I changed my paper every time. This time let's just leave it the same so you can see what those look like. And I'll show you what I mean when I'm done. Your hands do get inky. This one, it is a little bit messy, but I sure think it comes out pretty, and no two are alike, which is what's really cool. I just think it gives it kind of that, that pop, that wow factor when people get the card. And it's not, like I said, it's not difficult. You don't have to have a die cut machine. You don't have to have a punch. You don't have to have embossing powder. This is a really nice wow card, I think, when you don't want, either you don't have a lot of supplies yet, or you just don't feel like pulling them all out. You want to do something just with ink and paper. So this can be that card. There's so many techniques. But I like to go back and visit some of them again that we haven't done for a while, because I know that I forget if I haven't done something for a while. And then at the very bottom, I'm just going to do the blue. Okay, let me put these lids back on. Move those out of the way, because otherwise Parakeet Party and Tranquil Tide will be all over everything. Okay, so you know what? And so here, this is what I was talking about. So here, if you wanted to use the same mask over and over, maybe you could take a piece of either regular tape or washi tape then at this point and just tape the Post-it notes together. How about that? That way, once you take the time to set it up the first time, then you could reuse it. There we go. Now that would come off easier. It's still not wanting to cooperate, but that's okay. Better. Okay, so see, this time, like I said, I pulled this down in the exact same place each time. Last time with the one I did, and I'm not sure where I put that. I alternate, so I'd do one here and then one over there and one there, just so that it was all kind of different. So you can see This would be exactly the same, and this is if you move it back and forth a little bit all the way down. All right, so then I'm going to put this one on the Parakeet Party. I'm going to put this one on the Tranquil Tide. I want to stamp, let's see, last time I stamped the palm tree on this one, so this time I think I'll stamp it over here on this one, just for a different look. Move these back out of the way just because I don't want to have something under them when I'm stamping. Make sure I don't have any along the edge, and I'm starting outside of my rectangle and curving it in to the inside. I'll clean these when I'm done. And then I'm going to take the palm leaves at the top. Sit that right there so that some of it is on the rectangle and some of it is off of the rectangle. Now that time I did okay. The time before, you can see I got some ink here and there, and that's why I put the sequins on. You know me, if you get a card from me, it's got sequins or rhinestones or something, then chances are I made a boo-boo. But that's, you know, that's stamping, that's life. You just cover it up and you keep going. I'll put the pelican on this one this time. See, that time I did that one. Well, darn it. And after I've spent all this time sponging, I am not about to let it go. So when we do these, let's see, I've got my sand eraser around here somewhere. I will probably go back and erase this because I can usually get it erased off of there. And let's go ahead and put our words on both of these. We can finish them off. So you see, I mean, you don't, I think that's the biggest draw for something like this, is not having to have different equipment and things. That this is, I think, a nice wow card that doesn't require anything else special. You will get a little inky. I don't ever mind that. As long as I don't get the ink on my card, right, that I've already made. There's that one. And this one. And like I said, I will take the sand eraser to that. If I can't get it out, then I'll be adding some rhinestones or some sequins or something to this one also. It's not a big deal. Okay, so here's how they look plain. And yeah, I might add the rhinestone or the sequins anyway, because I think it gives it a nice look. All right, so quick and easy. I hope you might try it. They're lots of fun. Have a great day.